Bayern Munich just drew their second Bundesliga game in a row, and normally this would be the start of a crisis in Munich. But I actually don't think it was that way. I don't think Bayern have been especially bad in the last two games. I'll talk more about it in the tactics section, but it was still a poor loss. We still shouldn't be losing games, and we're not top of the Bundesliga. And let's get right into the player ratings. I didn't think the players played very well, though, that said. So, in terms of the attack, where I always start, I thought Sadio Mane had a bit of a disaster class, 5 out of 10, because Mane wasn't fluid. He wasn't able to beat his man ever, I don't think, in the 1v1, even though he lost it a few times from that. His passing was poor. His link up with his teammates was uncoordinated. And it just wasn't the Mane we've seen in previous weeks, who's fit so seamlessly into the team. It was a poor Mane, and it was a bad Mane. Just not good. I thought Leroy Sané wasn't that great. He had a few chances. He made a few opportunities for himself, but he should have scored, which is why I'm going to give him only a 6 out of 10. I thought that Sané was energetic. He was in a bit of that left half space. And he did create some chances. He had a few good dribbles. He had a one-on-one, which he should have buried. But at least he got into those positions. But he wasn't great in the second half later on in the game. 6 out of 10. Jamal Musiala is the one I'm quite disappointed about. 5.5 out of 10. Slightly better than Mane, but Musiala had literally been Ballon d'Or worthy. He'd been the best player in the world, I thought, so far this season, at least in the first 3 games. 3 man of the match performances. Yeah, he had this injury, and now he's back in the starting lineup. I'm all excited. It's Musiala time. Choo choo, Musiala train. But Musiala didn't deliver. Too often he was caught on the ball in possession, I thought. He didn't release it quick enough. And also, he didn't seem to have the flair, the panache, the finesse, and the vision of Thomas Muller when Musiala was playing Thomas Muller's role in that attacking midfield position. Sometimes there could have been a quick, direct ball threaded through for someone like Mane, Sane, Coman, but it didn't happen for Musiala, which is why I'm going to give him a 5.5 out of 10, and why I think he really needs to play with Muller in the future, or he needs to play maybe on the wings for now, because I don't think he has that refinement and the vision to excel as a cam just yet, even though his dribbling is good. And even his dribbling was not that good today. It was often caught. He had a few nice dribbles, as he always does. He's Musiala. It's like expecting Messi not to have a few nice touches also. It's the same sort of thing. Musiala is that good, but he could have done better. Kingsley Coman also had a disaster class. I don't know what it is with these attackers today, but disaster classes all around, 5 out of 10. Coman was energetic. He tried to beat his man, but the emphasis on the word try. There's a famous quote from a famous Jedi Master, I believe, called do or do not. There is no try. And Coman didn't do today. He tried, but he often didn't beat his man. He had one where he had a step over, but then lost the ball. He just couldn't dribble today. It wasn't good from Coman. The crosses were poor. He had one shambolic cross right into row Z, nowhere near the middle of the box, and it was just poor performance, 5 out of 10. So the attack has a 5, 6, 5.5, and 5 out of 10, which is so far away from the previous games where the attack's been excellent. But anywho, let's move on. So I think that the midfield was probably it was a good part of the team. The midfield and defence were pretty good. It was 1-1 after all. Union didn't have many chances, which showed the midfield and defence must have done something right. I thought Sabitzer was a 6.5. Initially, I would give him a lower rating from the first half performance, for example, because he lost the ball a few times. He wasn't the possession magnet he usually is. But later on in the game, he was so crucial in stopping Union counterattacks. He was crucial in really occupying that 6th space behind Kimmich or later Gravenberch, and really being an anchor and being a solid presence for the Bayern Munich ship to anchor on. So it was good defensively from him, and I thought he stopped those counterattacks well. Kimmich would be my man of the match today with a 7 rating. I thought Kimmich was excellent. I'm very surprised he actually got taken off, because I thought he was Bayern's best player. He had that magnificent goal. I know it took a deflection, but to drill the ball across the ground like that in the area with so many people, it was so precise and it was so elegant also. It was Thiago-esque. Very good from Kimmich. And he had those nice lofted balls to Coman. from the right wing, like as he always does. He was picking apart the defense. It was good from Kimmich, very good defensively as well. Not the traffic cone we're used to. In defence, I thought Davies was solid, if unimpressive. He lost the ball a few times, wasn't that solid, great defensively, but I'll still give him 6 out of 10. He had a few nice dribbles. He created a few Bayern opportunities. So for that, we'll give him his respect. The maple syrup left back, Davies, yeah, it was not bad. It was like, his performance was like a maple syrup from another country. Still decent, but not as good as the Canadian can be, if you will. Upamecano, I thought, I'm mentioning this word a lot, but disaster class comes to mind again. It wasn't good. 5 out of 10. About 2 or 3 times he was maybe dribbling the ball, then lost it to the man who was marking him. It was pretty poor from Upamecano, and coupled with his mistake from last week, I actually think he shouldn't start in the Champions League versus Inter. De Ligt, 6.5 out of 10. I thought De Ligt was very solid. Some people were talking about how slow he was, but he made up for it with good positioning. And Hummel, he's a bit like Mats Hummels. He's great passing, good positioning, not the fastest, but he's physical, has a good aerial presence, and is decent. So 6.5 out of 10. He's pretty good. Pavard was another one who was not bad, 6.5 out of 10. He was solid, contributed in the attack. He had a few of those trademark Pavard, like outside the boot, right half space area shots. Of course, didn't go in, but at least he tried. 6.5 out of 10. Can't really fault the performance. Neuer, I would give a 7. I don't think he had any chance for the goal, but he had one especially crucial save towards the end of the game, which was a really good save after a Upamecano error. A bad Upamecano error that was also. So for that, he gets 7 out of 10. A good performance, and he was good with his kicking. He was good commanding the box, etc. He didn't have much to do, but when he did have something to do, when he had a chance to save it, he did so. So for that, he gets 7. Now, Julian Nagelsmann. What are my thoughts on the tactics? What are my thoughts on his rating? I'm gonna say, I'm Bayern's performance. I'm gonna say 5.0. I'm gonna say 5 out of 10 for Nagelsmann. It wasn't a good tactical setup because we saw a 3-4-2-1 sort of formation with Davies as really like a left mid and Coman as a right mid in the first half. Musiala and who else was it? Musiala and Sane were like 2 attacking 10s, and then Mane. But I thought the attack was too congested, and it didn't really, the fluid structure didn't work against this low block. So I've been talking a lot about how Lewandowski would have not helped our team, and we're better without him. But in a game like this, where we get aerial presence in the box, where the fluid attack's not that good against a low block defense, I think Lewandowski would still be useful. But I thought the setup wasn't right. There were too many attackers, and they got too congested in the box because Union were defending with all of their players, like 11 men behind the ball at all times. So I thought that Nagelsmann really needs to address this and address how to really break down a low-lying defense, and he didn't do that today. And I thought it was also a bad tactical decision to leave Thomas Muller out. Of course, he was probably just rested for the game against Inter Milan. You might think that's more important. But I think that Bayern would have done better with Muller because he would have had that leadership, and he would have given the structure to the Bayern team. Because how can you expect the orchestra to play well, to not be disjointed, to not be unstructured without its conductor? You can't. So if you leave Muller out, you're of course going to drop rating. But I guess if he's just resting Muller, it shows that he values Muller, and that what else can he do if he's not going to play Muller? I don't really know. But in terms of the tactics, so yeah, it was Davies and Coman on the wing. I thought it got very congested. In a defense, it was a 4-2-3-1 formation, and in attack, Davies moved forward. In the second half, I didn't even know how to describe the tactics, to be honest, because it was just really disjointed, which is why I'm also docking Nagelsmann a bit, because when Nagelsmann goes down or when he's chasing a goal, his solution is usually just to throw another attacker on the field. But this strategy lacks balance. It makes us more susceptible to counterattacks, and I don't think it actually helps our attack any bit because we're too jumbled up in there. And we saw that when it was Muller, Coman, Sane, Mane, Gnabry on the field. It was just too congested in the middle of the field. We weren't really creating anything against this low block. So the tactics in the second half were odd. I think we should have maybe just gone to a straight 4-2-2-2 formation, like we played in the first few games. Maybe not bring Musiala off, maybe bring Coman off, bring Muller on for Coman, and play that 4-2-2-2 formation with Gnabry on for Sane, which brought us so much success, because we haven't seen that Gnabry and Mane front two pairing for a while, and they were so good when they were playing. So I think that that was the case for Bayern. I think that Bayern could have done better. Bayern should have done better. The tactics were disjointed, and that's why it wasn't a great tactical performance from Nagelsmann. I didn't think it was a great team performance for Bayern. What were your thoughts on the match, though? Let me know in the comments below. Thank you, and goodbye.